Okay, you guys, our show is back. It is back. This is Queen Sugar, season 5. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for episode 1 of season 5 of Queen Sugar. You listen. I'm so glad to see Nova and Charlie and Raw and Aunt Fi and Hollywood and Child Listen and Blue and I guess even Darla Child. Whatever. Anyway, Mr. Prosper and listen, y'all know I love this show. But let me start off right here and say, did you feel like we were being rushed along? It was like the storytelling pushed real fast in this episode. It was like we covered a lot of space. Um, yeah, I just kept looking. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. That's quick. Wait, we're here already. It was that kind of thing. Like we were rushing our story along. Um, but that's okay. I trust them. I trust these writers on this show. So it's going to be fine. But, we found out about Parker when we left. We found out about Miss Parker, honey. And old boy got this black daughter, honey. I said, all the big secret. But anyway, the very opening, we had Nova's doing a prayer, doing a sacrifice, which was cutting her locks. She cut all her locks off, and she said, out with the old, in with the new. And that was that. And then we got started. We got started off right away, baby. The last scene from the finale was Parker and Charlie ended up running. Child. Old boy got it all going. Had 2 black women and let them 2 fight it out. And that's what it was given. And he told her, I needed a woman to take Francis down. So they basically used Charlie. And that's a lot of what's happening here. We've seen this in this episode. They are really playing hard. Like they're playing these very vindictive games where Charlie her triumphs are actually helping, but helping them against her at the same time. So it's rough. It's rough. It's really, child, look, Parker told her at one point, girl, this fight is just beginning. And she told her, I know how to fight. She said, we'll see, Patty Parker's a bitch. I said, girl, and they got the perfect actress to play Parker. John knows her for her works, honey. She's the perfect actress to go up against the actress that plays Charlie, honey. These two, baby, this is television gold. Anyway, so Francis, down there, baby, Miss Francis, honey, they put her in jail and sentenced girlfriend in the court to 7 years in prison, baby. All about her involvement with burning the Queen Sugar Mill down. And she was a whole mess. And I was getting my life in the courtroom where the judge chin checked her. She in there. Do y'all remember and when we ended, when they came and arrested her from the restaurant, she was trying to run the police. Well, she ran the police. So don't you dare. You dare put those things on me or you will be sorry. How you gonna tell the cops don't put no handcuffs on you? Who the hell are you? And they didn't do it. They didn't do it. But baby, she got down there in front of that female judge. Honey, that judge told her, honey, this is my courtroom. And you don't have the option of changing narratives nor running anything. I'm running this. 7 years in the slammer, girlfriend. You're on your way to Mrs. Furthington's finishing school for girls. Good night, Francis. Parker was in the back of the courtroom, honey, standing there. I said, little do you know, honey, that's your niece standing back there, honey. A mess. Anyway, but that was that. Parker ended up seeing them outside the courtroom, and that was actually went on about her business. Then the evictions dropped. There was evictions sent out to all the farm owners about their land and all that. They start moving things along, which was a whole mess. Um, Nova ended up coming out to the farm and talking to Ralph Angel, and he's still very angry and won't let her. He's like, she's begging him to be able to apologize to him and for him to accept the apology, and he told her, I'll try. She just told him, okay, and she presented him with the information and the journal, their mama's journal, and that's what opened up the door. She's like, you can't send me away from the land, because now I found out that our mother is somewhere buried out here in these acres and acres of land. So you can't send me away, Ralph Angel. You can't do it. It's not just, you got a house and you don't want me at your house. This is now consecrated, land that has to do with our lineage and our family, and our mother is here. You can't send me away, Ra. Like, you need to stop that. So he said he'll try, whatever. So they ended up going to court. That's why I say it got moved along so fast. They end up in court. The courts gave an extension due to there was some work that Nova was trying to she was working her in. There were these health surveys that had to do with cancer and all of this, and they were incomplete. So those things needed to be done. So that actually worked into it. The judge gave protection over the Borderline farm and said, y'all do what you're going to do, but you ain't going to destroy the Borderline farm, because she's the damn councilwoman. She's a councilwoman now. So her presence as a councilwoman played to, what the judge was doing. So that was a good thing. Told him, you build the highway or whatever it is, but you have to find alternate routes. You're not going through the Borderline farm. That's not happening. So that saved that. Okay? Now, Parker and Charlie end up running into each other outside in the hallway. Nova's there. She says, I'd like to have a conversation with you. Because she told her, you did some good work in there today. From one sister to the other. She's like, sister? Not your sister. It's my sister. And she was like, well, she said, what do you want, Parker? She said, I would like to have a conversation with you. Just to try to find some common ground. Maybe we could work. And, just have a conversation. It's your call, And she was telling her, she was like, well, I wanted to have a private conversation. And Nova had told her from the door, she's like, you don't ever get to dismiss me. Do you understand? Whatever you can say to her, you be saying while I'm there. But you don't ever get to dismiss me. I said, oh, come on, sisters. So she told her, I just want to have a conversation. See if we can find some common ground where we could actually work together and get things done. I ain't trying to fight, and it's your call. Whenever you want to have a conversation, if you want to have a conversation, just let me know. She said, okay, cool, no problem. Charlie ended up contacting her, and they actually met over at the mill. Okay? So they're walking around the ruins of what used to be Queen Sugar. She come in the door to her, oh yeah, I know that you're about to get a big check. Are you planning on rebuilding this, that, and she was like, girl, what do you want? This, that, thing, and the other. And they start talking. They going back and forth. Now they are hashing their differences. How she's like, you don't see the bigger picture, Charlie. Like, why you're like trying to, what are you doing? Like, you're trying to take and keep St. Joe's like this old hometown place and all of this togetherness and that, and I'm trying to help them to move forward into the future and whatnot. And she's like, see, I brought you here so that you could look around and see what Frances did and how she just tore down something that belonged to the community. It wasn't just about me. It belonged to the community. It built the community up. It built the farmers up. We were all a part of it. It wasn't them buying from me. It was all St. Joe's. Everything was St. Joe's. It was a community effort that kept everything running. I happen to own it, but it was us together. I can't do it without them. They can't do it without me. And she said, you don't seem to understand at all the concept of pride, of ownership of St. Joe's. You all textbook and dollar figures. You don't care about the people, you know? So she told her, you know, she says, well, whatever, you know, and she switched right back to her nasty, you know, acting like her father, and told her, you know, do you speak for all of St. Joe's? And she says, are you sure? Charlie's sitting there looking at her. And she told her, this fight is just getting started. And she said, I know how to fight. And she said, we'll see. We shall see. And she switched one out of her boat. Well, let me just stop right here and tell you, both of these heifers were so clean. Ah! They were so clean. The both of them. Them two, they are both in their own right. When you say black girl magic, them two. Baby, they was bad. Both these ladies, bad, clean. I said, oh, y'all better come on here with this. This is what I'm talking about, baby. They was giving you everything. I said, all right. But yeah, they got something for each other. You hear me? And Charlie's sitting there, and I said, girl, I see the worry in your face, and you should, because that's the one thing about St. Joe's. St. Joe's is their quick switch. Their quick switch. All the rah-rah and all the woo, siskumbah, it's all good. And then as soon as one little thing happens, they always want to switch on Charlie. Did y'all ever notice that? Drives me bonkers. There's nothing about Charlie that ever says she's not for St. Joe's. Because she could walk away from this anytime. Charlie is rich. She could walk away from this shit and the hell with it. Be done with it. But that's the thing. St. Joe's will turn. Girl, they flip so quickly. They flip. They get too scary for me. I'll be like, okay, y'all. I mean, I get it, and I don't, all at the same time. But anyway, so let me flip over here. Micah, what are you doing, honey? I had to stop. Like, I was in the commercial break. I'm like, what is Micah doing? Everything, you know, he's so vague. He drives me bonkers. And I said, something is not right. Charlie, you need to get a handle on Micah and how he keeps blowing you off and he's not coming home and all of this. She ain't seen him in a couple of months. And your child can't be set free like that. Because I said, something, what's wrong? Something wrong. And sure enough, they addressed me. Like, they heard me talking to myself during the daggone commercial break. They come back. New Zeta Gamma. Old boy done got online. And he joined a fraternity. Now, joining a fraternity is a good thing. For all intents and purposes. But not for everybody. Being part of a fraternity is not good for everybody. And I don't see that as being good for Micah because Micah is too much of a follower to be a part of something like that. I just think he's too... Micah's too much of a follower. I think that fraternities are good when they're made up, because that's what they're really based to be made up of a group of leaders. Like, everybody has leadership qualities. And that's why fraternities are like the strong forces that they are, because they're not running around like a cult. They are literally a group of leaders. When you hear somebody's a Kappa, they're the AKA, and I'm not going to go name all of them, but you all know who you are. You all know who you are. When you say that you are a part of these organizations, we automatically look at you like you have leadership qualities, not you are a follower. Okay? So Fraternities and sororities are not cult-like. Micah has a very cult-like following type of personality to me. So I don't know about this with Micah. Micah drives me crazy. But anyway, so that's just my feelings on that. Definitely, please leave something in the comment. Tell me what y'all are getting from that. Am I way off with how I'm viewing Micah? Or what do you guys think? You all know I will be reading in the comments to see what you have to say. Okay, so now, this is where we went. Now, I see Nova is actually bringing old boy around. So everybody's seeing that they are actually in a relationship now. And she's, you know, putting it out there. She's putting it out there. And that is that. She's bridging all her worlds and her people, and it's interesting, very interesting. And she's kind of pushing him to take her to his family. She said, we're going to be fine, we're going to be fine. But he is worried. He's worried. And he has this thing coming up with his grandfather. I think it's his 86th birthday. And she's like, it'll be fine. He's like, no, my grandfather's not really nice. You know, so I'm like, oh, okay. Because naturally, you know how we are, child. They accepted him, and they was like, okay, this is different, but come on, you know. So look forward to that. Anyway, so Charlie got together this whole Saint Joseph's Day, and created this whole celebration, because here it is, Saint Josephine, not Joseph, Saint Josephine. That is who the parish is actually named after, and it is a black woman. It was a black woman. So they're now celebrating her. She has her own day, just like Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. They created a day, and they have their day, and they have a big old celebration. They had all these pictures of founding members and people that were important to St. Joe's, and all of this. It was really nice. And they had the children carrying the pictures. It was nice. And looked like everybody was getting ready to have a really good time and everything. So they're out there having a dinner, and the next thing you know, honey, the Beckington group, honey, jumps up there. Here comes Miss Parker. She is now like the VP of the Bank of St. Josephine's. I said, Lord have mercy. And she's up there, and she's giving, oh, yes, thank you to Councilwoman. I said, and Charlie's face was so cracked. So cracked. Thank you to Councilwoman Bordelon, this, that, thing, and the other, on and on and on, and all that. And then she goes, and she basically talk about how did she save the farm and this, that, and the other, but they're going to, the land, they're going to move, the farms are going to be safe, but they're moving the, they found an alternate route for the highway. It's going to go, it's going to run straight through the cemetery. So the whole celebration flipped around on Charlie. And Parker's like, thank you all, and have a great day, and enjoy the day, and left on out of there, girl, real smug. Because now the whole celebration then turned around, so now the people are yelling and screaming at Charlie, because everybody's there. Everybody's there. And she turned it into a whole shit show. And people snapped out, and they're like, I got family members there in that cemetery. What are they going to do? Just dig them up, just throw them away? Snapping out. And Charlie's there, and she just kind of, she was like, okay, she was dealing with, she's like, just wait a minute, just hold on. None of that is set in stone. Just give me a minute. And, you know, the family's like, y'all got to give her a minute. This, that, and the other. Y'all got to let her explain this, that, and the other. So we see Charlie, she's storming back to her. She handled it. You know, she did her thing. She went back, and it was like she was going to have this little panic attack, honey. She pulled herself together. And Vi came back there, and she said, are you okay? She says, no, not really. But I'm going to be okay. She said, because I'm going to win. Because I can't lose. I said, come on, Charlie. So it's really, honey, that Parker, whoo, she's vicious, honey. She is vicious, 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 and she's a little underhanded. But again, they're using all of Charlie's good moves against her. And like she told her, it's just, this is the fight, and you know, I got you outnumbered. But girl, you are giving me a run for my money, and she's going to continue to give you a run, Miss Parker, honey. But as much as I don't like Parker, I do like Parker. Parker and Charlie are one and the same, honey. This is, ooh, honey, it's too much. And then Ralph Angel proposed to damn Darla. Anyway, we ain't even gonna get started with this. But there was a point where Blue made Ralph Angel do the prayer at the table at the house. She knew that they done moved her in the house. They burning up toast and carrying on, and he had him to say the prayer. He's like, "You don't pray, you know." Although she prayed, and he didn't. When he got there, so thank you for my home that my father gave me. Thank you for my son that I love. And this, and he get to Darla. Thank you for, he ain't know what to call her. And he said, I love my life. And I said, here we go. And then they did an episode, child. He proposed to her, child. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that, child. He proposed to her, child. Anyway, listen. Queen Sugar's back, y'all. I'll see y'all next week. Later.